Good morning, beloveds. All right. It is Monday, and we've got a long one, so let's get into this. Okay, it is October 16th. Our title is Who's Driving? Our author is Vera Dawson Tait. It is from Take Command from 1981. And this is from Unity. Or she is from Unity, I guess I should say. Let's see. We have been given the wisdom to drive our own lives, to step confidently forward into that which is for our highest good. If disappointments crop up, or if there are unpleasant things to be met, we can learn to handle them when we know the truth of our relationship to God. Religionists have been known to scoff at the words of the poem Invictus by William H. Henley, thinking that they make people too important. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. But because people are important in God's plan, these words reveal a truth of the inheritance delegated to each of us by our loving Spirit. Our fate is our everyday human experience. The soul is the mind where we think and feel. God doesn't make us think or feel that which is good, but it has instructed us and left us free to act. However, whatever we think and feel will come forth in our fate, or will be the experience of our lives for good or ill. Thus, are we each to be master of our fate and captain of our soul, master of our thinking and feeling. In Job, we read, "You will decide on a matter, and it will be established for you. Whatever we speak forth, silently or audibly, as the result of our thinking and feeling will be established in our human experience. Herein lies our responsibility for our fate." Another verse found in Scripture bears out the truth of this idea of mastery. "For as they thinketh in their heart, so they are." Or so are they. As our thinking is joined to feeling, heart, so are we. Thus we can see that each one of us must be captain of our soul, or be in full control of our thinking and feeling, or if we would bring forth the abundant life of which Jesus spoke. Okay. Tomorrow could be interesting because I just glanced at the title. So let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about it from the standpoint of someone dealing with chronic pain. Okay? And I'm going to say that because that is my situation. I have been diagnosed with 2 autoimmunes. One of which I've managed successfully for years. And it's easy. I just take an over-the-counter B12 supplement. That's it. The second one has been more of a challenge. Okay? Partly because when the word first cropped up, Sjogren's syndrome, when that first cropped up, I thought, oh, it's just dry eyes and dry mouth. Little did I know. Okay. So now that I have gotten into it, and it's not uncommon in the United States for women going through menopause to come full blown into several autoimmunes. You can go do the research about why that might be. It has a lot to do with our gut health, but and we can talk about all the hardbound metaphysics that you want. Like, I'm not identifying myself with the autoimmune. What I'm saying is this is the reality of my material body. Okay? Which means I deal with chronic pain. Now, when I read things like that, if I were, dare I say, younger, healthy, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this, that, and the other thing, and I'm feeling fantastic, and I can do anything. Okay, so one, I'm not younger. I'm significantly more experienced than that. And two, I am dealing with a situation that causes chronic pain. And some days it gets to me, and some days I manage just fine. But that's what she's talking about. On those bad days, on those days when my pain level is really high, for whatever reason, whatever reason when my pain level is really high, my attitude makes a huge difference. Okay? So what I do is I get up in the morning and I go, oh, everything hurts. Why does this hurt? Okay. What do I need to do to get things moving so that I can manage my day? Here's one thing and it's a word that I'm starting to use. It's called the spoon theory. You can Google the spoon theory with anybody who's dealing with any condition that causes fatigue. You only have so many spoons in the drawer. Well, what I've discovered is I may have more spoons in my drawer than I think I do, but sometimes all I've got are little spoons, which means everything takes longer. Okay, but again, it comes back to my attitude. Yes, I am in pain. Yes, things hurt. Yes, I am moving a little slower. But I still have stuff to do. I have responsibilities, I have obligations, and so I can be grumpy and irritable about the fact that I have to get up in this pain and do this stuff. Or I can, master my fate and control my soul by acknowledging, okay, yes, I am in pain and things are going to take a little bit longer to do, but I'm still going to get up to do them. And here is what I know that I can do that will help. Okay? I get up and I go for that bike ride in the morning to get the blood moving. And trust me, it helps. Does it lower the pain? No, maybe sometimes. But what it does is it gets fluid moving so it doesn't get worse. Okay? So I am going to master my fate by mastering my attitude, by mastering my feelings, by acknowledging this is what is real, materially real. But I've got ways to manage it. And more importantly, I have ways to manage it, but I also have people that I can call that will help me. Okay? I can go to work and say, here, this is what's going on. And they'll say, okay, well, what do you need? Do we need to bring you things? They will help me. I have the best partner in the world who puts up with way more than I, could ask him for. But I also, and he's very helpful. And cause I took a tumble yesterday and I'm thinking I'm going to get up off the ground myself. And I was like, you know what? I looked at it and I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to take the help. And I let both of them haul me off the ground yesterday. Mostly because I trusted both of them to do it carefully and not make everything worse. So, I also have cats. And when I'm having one of those days, I can sit down. One of them will come and sit in my lap and purr. So it does come down to, I am the master of my fate. I can get really down and be, about the situation, or I can look at the spoons in my drawer and I can say, this is what I need to get done today. This is how many spoons it's going to take. And this is what I'm just not going to do today. And I'm going to be okay with that. It really is about attitude. So when she's asking who's driving, it really does come down to positive versus negative. Things happen. And that's why I wanted to speak to it from that, that chronic, I don't want to say illness, but from that chronic situation. It's because we can talk when we are healthy and things are going well. We can talk this stuff all day long. And yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about it from a situation of somebody like me. I'm basically healthy. I'm basically happy. I have off days. But on off days, I can make choices. And part of what I'm going to choose is my attitude. And if I'm going to choose to have a crappy attitude, because there are going to be days that I'm going to choose to have a crappy attitude, then the least I can do is warn the people around me and say, hey, you know what? This is what's going on today. And I'm not feeling it. And then they can choose how much interaction they want to have with me. And because I have warned them, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to pull people to interact with me on a day that I'm not feeling all that great. You know, I'm going to try and kind of curl up into myself and not inflict my mood on anybody else. So, what she is talking about, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Okay? Yes, in every situation, I absolutely turn to God and go, you know what? I need a little extra help this day. I get quiet and I do that treatment. And I do open up and say, I need a little extra energy to get through this. And God never says no. God never says no. And I get done what I need to get done. And if I have a little extra, that's great too. And some days, even if I have a little extra, I still sit down and rest. Exhaustion, chronic exhaustion does not get you brownie points. Sit down and rest. So, and I like the fact that she says, because people are important in God's plan, these words reveal a truth of the inheritance delegated to each of us by our loving God. Our fate is our everyday human experience. The soul is the mind where we think and feel. God doesn't make us think and feel that which is good. But God has instructed us and left us free to act. It's that free will thing. So even in the midst of having an awful day, you can still choose to have a better attitude. You can choose. That is your free will. However, whatever we think and feel will come forth as our fate. And that's what I'm talking about. So, yes, every morning I wake up and something hurts. But I'm not going to let it stop me. It may slow me down, but I'm not going to let it stop me. And that is me choosing my fate. Okay? It also means that I'll make choices that will support not increasing the pain. So, or will be the experience of our life for good or ill. Thus are we each the master of our fate and captain of our soul. So, whatever we speak forth, silently or audibly, and that's why I do talk about some of the conditions that I have dealt with. I talk about the anxiety. I talk about the depression. I talk about, the IBS, and I talk about the autoimmunes. These are what happen. These are what this body is dealing with. They're not who I am, but they are things that I deal with. And I want to remove the stigma. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we don't do in Science of Mind is spiritually bypass people who are having chronic issues. Did I create this? No. There's no thought I could have had that would have created these. These are imbalances in my body chemistry. There are things that I can do to make them worse, and there are things that I can do to make them better, and part of it is my attitude. Okay? That is what she's talking about today. And yes, would I love to be Emma's hardball metaphysics and just declare my body to be something other than it is? Yes, but I'm not. And my body is what it is. And it makes me who I am. And it ups my empathy and my compassion. And I accept that. And I accept that for the gift that it is. All right, so the mission today, should we choose to accept it? Thus are we each to be the master of our fate and captain of our soul, master of our thinking and feeling. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to choose our attitude. Let's choose what we are thinking. Let's choose how we are feeling. And let's choose more carefully. And that's why I told you mine. Because I want you to hear it coming from somebody with arguably a chronic condition. Could it get better? Oh, absolutely. But while I'm in it, while I am having this experience, and I am not going to let anybody tell me that I chose this experience, but while I am having this experience, I'm going to choose what I think about, how I think about it, and I'm going to choose how I feel about it. And I'm not going to wallow on the days that I choose to, if I choose to have a wallow day, I'm going to choose to have a wallow day. I will have one. And then I will get back up on the horse and get going again. Choose how you are thinking. Choose how you are feeling. If it is not working out for you, choose again. That's the mission. Honestly, that's the mission every day. You are at choice. You get to choose your fate because your attitude is your fate. All right, beloveds. And that is a hard truth. That is a hard truth. All right. So, which immediately means I'm going to launch into the other part of this, which is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, something kind for yourself, something compassionate for yourself. Well, now that you know some of my chronic issues, you understand why I'm such a big believer in this. Now, don't get me wrong. When I went through ministerial school, they hammered self-care, self-care, self-care. If you are going to live a life of service, you have to take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I cannot pour from an empty cup. Therefore, I do loving, kind, and compassionate things for myself. Yesterday, I came home from the center and I took a nap. And I took a nice long nap. And then I did what I needed to do. I got everything done that I intended to on Sunday. Well, that's not true. I was working on my YouTube channel and I didn't quite get that finished, but that's on me because I didn't start it as soon as I could have. I was goofing off and playing. But that's what love, kindness, and compassion looks like, okay? It looks like taking a deep breath before you speak. It looks like goofing off. It looks like playing. It looks like resting. That's why I say take a nap, take a walk, take a break, take a vacation. Eat dessert first. Yes, chocolate is the first step to fixing anything, in my belief. I like dark chocolate, and dark chocolate is a health food. Actually, according to a doctor that I know, that I've met a couple of times, he says chocolate is a health food, period. But the darker the better, because when you get into the milk, the sugar goes up. So, there we go. But when I say eat dessert first, what I mean is don't save the good stuff. Go out of your way to make the ordinary extraordinary a little more often. Wear the fancy clothes. Use the fancy dishes. Use the fancy linens. Have a celebration more often. Okay? More often. And I also, as I like to remind you, joy is a quality of God, therefore joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, I want you to make room for joy. Okay? Whatever that looks like for you. I'm still riding that little joy from the show Saturday night when the fairy queen, who, like I said, was 7, turns and says, "Pip, you're a hero." It was adorable. And it makes me happy to remember it. That's what joy looks like. That is what joy looks like. Make room for it. No matter what is going on in the world. All right. The rest of the suggestions are basic suggestions. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important, especially as we move into the cooler months when we start running the heat. Yeah, because we do a whole lot of running the heat here. But it makes everything a little... I'm actually thinking about buying a humidifier for the winter. So drink plenty of water, hydrate. Your body works better, your brain works better, and your skin looks better when you're well hydrated. Anything I can do to get you to drink a little more water, that's what I'm gonna say. And I'm also gonna remind you to get that early in your day bright light. I know the sun right now. The sun is coming. I think sunrise was at 7:24. So we got it. We got out about 10 minutes after the sunrise this morning. So I did. I got that face full of sun, and it looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be a nice cool day. It may not even make it to 70 today. Woo-hoo. Yay! And then it's going to be back in the 80s for the weekend. But we don't want to talk about that. At least it's in the 80s and not. Yeah. So, get that early in your daylight. That 7 to 9 is when the sun's at the perfect angle to support your vitamin D levels, which is important for your thyroid and your immune system and your bone health. And when you get that early in your day bright light, it supports your circadian rhythm, which is a natural hormone cycle. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. Trust me. Or don't. Google it. Circadian rhythm starts with a C. Look it up. All right. You can verify it for yourself. And then my last one is, I'm always going to give you that Ernest Holmes quote. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Because it's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. That is what, who was our author today? I don't remember her name because I only said it once. That is what Vera was talking about. She's talking about, it's a state of mind. Our fate is our attitude. It's a state of mind. Once we learn how to create heaven for ourselves, because, when you look around, everything is God. Because we're all made from the same source, which means we're made from God, because that's what God has to work with. We are all made of God, by God, for God. So it's all God. So we're already in heaven. It all comes down to our attitude. It comes down to the choice of what we think and the choice of how we feel. And if it's not right, the good news is we get to choose again. You can make a different choice. All right. So that's what I'm talking about today. You get to choose your mindset. And once you realize that heaven is that state of mind, it's that state of consciousness, you realize it's not a place you have to get to. But it can be any place you are. So state of grace, you already come pre-installed with this. And then it becomes a superpower when you learn how to do it, because ain't nobody going to be able to take it away from you. And wouldn't you just love to be able to create heaven anywhere you are? Yeah, you can. You can. All right, beloveds. Take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. On those days that I wake up a little out of sorts, that is what I do. Okay. Yeah, maybe that hurts, but this doesn't. And hey, look, I can see the clock. And hey, look, I got a purring cat. And hey, look, I got a partner that cares, that supports me, that helps. I count my blessings. So try it. It works. It works. Random acts of kindness, volunteer service, counting your blessings. Or gratitude. It works. All right, beloveds. I think I'm at the part where I do the social media. Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the Running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I'm on. I encourage you to go check out them on the 2 YouTube channels and the 2 Facebook pages. Hours of content. Hours of content. It's a little better organized on the YouTube. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, go look on the YouTube channels. Including, I read this thing called You. It's my favorite Ernest Holmes books. And I was like, we need an Audible version. I will do this. Somebody else will probably do a better version. But right now, it's available. All right. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That gets you on the Constant Contact. And the Constant Contact, the hot links are hot. It says, click here now. It'll either take you right to the information you want, i.e. the Soul Session playlist. Best playlist. Or to the person that can help you get it. So, Occasionally Jesse does teach. Well, actually Jesse teaches through home office more often, and you have to register through home office. So that link will take you to home office. So if you want to take one of those classes. All right. All right. I am at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a pick your attitude day, a know you are at choice day, a recognize what fate is day, a captain of your own soul day, a kind day, a compassionate day, it's gonna be okay day, a good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough. Just as you are. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Always. Okay? That is the truth of your being. And I encourage you to explore the truth of your being. I encourage you to peel back the layers of who you have been told you are. By religion, by society, by culture, by gender, by people that know you, that people that don't know you. Peel all that off and get to know who God knows you to be. Because I can promise you that person is good and that person is cool. All right. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. I've got a whole lot of energy for a Monday, right? Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.